Hi, everyone. We're here in Dropping Jules, where we drop jewels and everything on real estate, life, and everything in between. Today, I'm joined with my amazing guest, Keola, who's going to share his real estate journey, how he started, any challenges he had, and how he overcame them, and everything else. So, welcome, Keola. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy New Year.
Aloha, Jules. Thanks for having me. Happy New Year to you. And really, just a big shout out to you for creating this space for people to jump on and share their story. And not only the fact that they're sharing their story, but the fact that you make it feel so welcoming and inviting for everybody to come in here and just feel like we're sitting on the couch, just having a good chat with each other. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. And shout out goes to everyone in Owners Club for making all of us feel comfortable and pushing us to do things, the uncomfortable things. So here we are. We do the hard work. So I'm so honored to have you. And aloha. I should have, of course, started off at aloha. Are you in the beaches in Waikiki somewhere, or where are you at right now?
I wish I was. I wish I was. Typically, this time of year, my family and I would go back and forth. We would be in Hawaii,
Mhm.
but right now we're back at home. We're in Utah right now.
Oh, wow. Well, Utah is beautiful. I visited Park City. It was my first time to Utah, and it was amazing. I didn't know it was like one of the hidden gem of the ski slopes that were there. Amazing. People come for like months at a time to journey on
Yeah,
those slopes.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful up
Do you
there.
ski?
I snowboard.
Ooh,
Snowboard,
yeah.
surfing, it kind of goes hand in hand. One
Yes,
board.
yes, yes. That's right. One board. Yes. One balancing act. That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
Yep.
how long you been in Utah?
So I've been in Utah for 25 years.
Oh,
So quite a
wow.
while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
graduated college in Hawaii. Once I got done with college, I moved up to Utah. Thought it would be a short stint for just continuing education and some other programs I was involved in at that time.
Hmm.
And people people say, whatever higher power you believe in, God has a way of directing your life.
Yes, he
I
does.
thought it'd be 6 months. Met a girl. She's from Utah, and so I had to decide. All right, do I go home and enjoy paradise by myself, or do I stay in the cold mountains of Utah with an amazing woman? And here
We
we
saw what
are.
you picked. We know we have a way of changing things, right? Changing your
Yeah.
minds, right? That's awesome. That's awesome. So, walk us through. So, why real estate? Why'd you get started in real estate?
Yeah, good question. So, I think my path to here is a lot different from a lot of other people. I mean, it might resonate with some, but I actually was in the fitness industry for 25 years, right? Like
Ah,
I
amazing.
was
Yeah.
really into fitness, really into fitness industry. I jumped on a company when they were 3 locations here locally in Utah.
Hmm.
Kind of worked my way up through the company rapidly, and over the course of 22 years with them, we grew from 3 locations to 55 locations through 10
Wow.
states before I exited. And so I was part of their
Amazing.
executive team, helped them build things up, had amazing time, met a lot of great people, right? It's a
Hmm.
fitness industry, right? Most
Of
people walk
course.
through the doors are wanting to change their life in a very
Yeah.
impactful way.
Right.
And I really thought I would never leave that industry. But long story short, over the past 8 years,
Hmm.
as we were growing our company, and I was required to travel a lot, so I was on the road every other week, 4 to 5 days a week, and I would tell
Mm.
people all about I live my life by what I call the 3 F's, right?
Okay.
Faith,
Let's hear it.
family, and food.
Ooh,
And
food. Okay.
not
Yeah, you
always
got
in
me
that
there.
order, right? To your
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
faith, family, and food really drive everything that I do. And here we were last year, and just kind of on the grind, right? I was gone a lot, just trying to build up this company and build up what I thought was providing for my family, and it was
Hmm.
great. But one day, my wife tapped me on the shoulder, and she basically said, "Hey, you, we've got 3 boys, right? And our oldest
Hmm.
was gonna be going into his senior year." So my wife tapped me on the shoulder. She said, "Listen, this is the last year with your son.
Hmm.
What are we going to do?" I was like, "What do you mean?
Right.
What are we going to do? He's going to do his thing, and we're going to do our thing. We're going to provide for him, and he's going to
Hmm.
graduate, go off into the world, and do big things." And she said, "No, this is his last year, and you've
Uh,
missed a lot of his time growing up."
wow. That hit home, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really hit home. And so we sat down. We had a family council meeting together. We talked about where we were at, the things that we wanted to accomplish. And I realized that at that time, I'd really sacrifice time away from my family to provide and do other things, and
Mm-hmm.
that things had to change. And so I
Yes.
went to my executive board. I presented an exit package. We negotiated on that, and a month later, I was walking out the door and said goodbye to the fitness field.
Wow. How did that feel? What was that feeling like?
It was nerve wracking, to be honest with you.
Yes, yes, I'm
Nerve,
sure.
I mean, a bit
That's
of
all.
a bit of relief, a bit of, hey, you know what? This is there's a
Something
better
new.
cause, something new, and it wasn't
Hmm.
like I had to just dive back in and get right back to the grind of working. I was able to have a good exit package. Like, I was part of the ownership, main ownership group there, and so it was fun, right? But like, we did this. 2 weeks later, here I am, like saying, okay, I've got to still be the husband. I got to provide for my family. Got to do things, right?
Hmm.
And so I was
Hmm.
jumping on all these calls, taking all these interviews, and I was getting a lot of interviews for the same role I was in. I was senior VP of operations or higher,
Hmm.
in different states. And so my wife, once again, power to women, she comes up to me and says, what are you doing?
Hmm.
I said, what do you mean what am I doing? He says,
I'm looking
what
for
are
a
you
job.
doing? Yeah, I'm looking for the next thing for us. She's like,
Hmm.
you just left a job you absolutely love, doing something you absolutely love, and you're going to a different company to do the same thing someplace you don't even know. And the whole
Right.
reason you left that was to give our family more time. And so I
Mm.
really had to like take a step back and say, okay, what is
Yes.
something that I love and I'm interested in that can give me more freedom of time, right? And
Mm.
and freedom to be able to work from anywhere.
Hmm.
And at that point,
I
a
love that.
friend of mine had introduced me to Pace and said, hey, check out this video. Here's something I know you've been
Hmm.
interested in. And he sent me a video about the Gator method by Rick Pace Morby.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure.
And so, like many others listening, turned on that first video. And 4 hours later, I found myself looking at the screen of content. And
Binge
I was like,
watching pace.
right, exactly. Exactly. And so it's like a bug to the light, right? Just drawn and
Hmm.
mesmerized by everything he was
Hmm.
sharing.
Yes.
And I saw Gator as a low barrier of entry to
Hmm.
step in, to get educated and start getting involved in the real estate arena, which is something I always wanted to do. And so that's
Sure.
what brought me into the community.
Mm, that's awesome. What year was that you joined Pace's Gator community?
So I joined Paces Gator in September of 2003.
Oh wow, wow. And what was that feeling after you joined? You of course you watch it, you said 4 hours binge watching Netflix. It should be Paceflix. Watching that and joining the community. And how did you get started? Like what did you do first after you joined?
Yeah, good question, Jules. For me, I have the type of personality where I feel like I have to learn a lot of things before I start taking action. I
Yes,
just
yes.
it's me. I like to see one, do one, kind of a mentality. But what I found myself caught up doing is I started to jump on every single Zoom, every
Mhm.
single live call there was, watch every single video, and I would literally lock myself in my office and spend hours in here just consuming content.
Mhm.
And so for
Mhm.
the first 2.5 months, that's all I did.
Oh
And
wow. Wow.
and I'm not saying that's a good thing, right? If
Yeah.
I would change some things, and we can talk about that as well. But I was on this live call with Pace, and he basically said, hey, if you're only consuming content and not taking action, you're not going to succeed at this.
Mhm.
And it hit me. Like, it just like, what in the world am I doing? I just left the
Yes.
job where I was driving operations, where I was telling people to take action, right? I was
Right.
telling people to get off your butt and go do the work. And here I
Mhm.
am on my butt, not doing a thing.
Sure.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to change. And so what I started to do at that point is I started to network, right? I
Ah,
realized
yes.
that if you don't have to go it alone, right? In this industry, it's not about what you know, right, Jules? It's about who you
It's
know.
who you know, right? So
and,
true.
and so and so I started to just network, and I wasn't just calling everybody, right? Like, let me go through a list and call everybody. What I started to do is I started to see who were actively engaged on the calls that I was joining. Who were
Mm,
people that Ace was talking about? Who was he referencing? Who was commenting? Who was sharing great things? Who was active in his Facebook groups? And I
hmm
started to look at who are those people that were really setting themselves apart from others and taking action and
hmm
being successful. And then I added a component to that where I was asking them, I was seeing who was talking about them, right? Not
Okay,
just
sure,
people
sure.
promoting themselves, but who was giving good positive references and referrals about this person. And if
Okay,
they met
okay.
those things, I would then reach out to them and schedule a call to connect.
That's
And
awesome. So you were very strategic. So again, to go over that, so whoever Pace was highlighting on the live calls, whoever was posting or engaging with the community, and who other people, members in our community who were talking about those. So you had like
right.
at least three requirements that you were looking at, or okay, great, great, great.
Yeah.
And
And
when
just to add to that,
Mhm.
another component is I wanted to make sure that they had actually completed deals and were successful
Yes,
at it, right?
right,
Because
awesome.
I hear this with so many people. Exposure doesn't always equal experience.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Yes. It's type of experience as exposure of learning, but you're not actually doing the
Yeah.
deals. Sure. 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 And how when you reached out to them, were you reaching out through our community, Facebook? Like, walk us through that step.
Yeah, so I was really focused on reaching out to the Gator community specifically, because
hmm
at that time that's all I knew, right? So I was reaching out to Gator community through
hmm
Facebook initially, and then jumping on calls like this, right?
Like
Jumping
we
on
are.
Zoom calls, jumping on one-on-one calls, and what I found is, so I spent 2 to 3 months just hunker down consuming content.
hmm
Then I started to make my first outbound call and outreach within the community, and
hmm
within 2 months of that, so September, October, November, by December, I had already funded 4 deals at that time.
Wow. Awesome. EMDs, or are you doing double closes or mixture?
So honestly, rewind when I was watching the videos of Pace with Gator, right? He's promoting short transactional lending. And so I
hmm
thought, I can do this. Let me
I love
enter
this.
in low bear. Let's do it. I can do it all day.
Yes, all
But
day.
not knowing anything and not knowing how to market myself or who to go talk to, what I
hmm
found in the community was a lot of private money lending deals,
hmm
right?
hmm
They're
hmm
everywhere, and
They're
there's so many.
everywhere.
And so instead of going down the path of EMD or double closing at that time, I decided to take what was low hanging fruit and what
hmm
the people I were networking with were doing a lot of, and that
Gotcha.
was private money lending.
So you stepped into the gap funding, private money lending. How did you approach it as far as underwriting the deal and ensuring that the risk that you were lending on, and ensuring that you were safe, that you were protected as well as the borrower was protected?
Good question, Jules. Once again, this is where the community came in, right? They were my
Mhm.
safe because, like I said, I didn't know anything, right? Like I wasn't
hmm
involved in real estate. I mean, we've had rental properties, but I wouldn't call that knowing real estate.
hmm
And so I leaned on people within the community. Like I said, the people that I networked with and connected, they became secondary sets of eyes for me. They
I
also
love it.
became people that, hey, if you've got a deal, let me team up with you. Let me help fund the deal with you if you can walk me through the process. And
Amazing.
so
Sure.
the first 12 deals I did all came from within the community, all came with people within the community, all came from people that we network with.
hmm
And they all came with support, right? On top
That's
of
awesome.
the ongoing support calls that are within the community, whether you're sub two or Gator, there's so many
hmm
calls that you can bring deals to that people can
Yes.
kind of tell you like that's crap, right? Like, what are you even looking
Right.
at that? It doesn't pass these tests. Like, get rid of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, wow, that's definitely one of the perks of being in the community, the people that are there to help us through this. So you did a lot of JV partnerships in the beginning.
A
That's
lot,
awesome. That's
a lot.
awesome. Okay. So it took you through first 12 deals, then what? then what do you?
Yeah. So right now under my belt, if you're looking at deals, I've got about 20 or so.
Awesome.
Majority are all private
That's
money
awesome. Yeah,
lends.
that's kudos,
Um,
dude. I mean, that's amazing.
got a couple of private money partnerships as
Mhm.
well, right, on
Mhm.
co-living spaces that I was able to team up and bring capital and jump on a team and look
Mhm.
for ownership on that. And right now I pivoted, right? Like, last year there was a point where everybody was concerned about what is the real estate market going to look like, right? Like right around
Sure.
election time, New Year's coming, like where are we going to be? And
Mhm.
at that time, I had maybe 7 deals out, right? So my money was deployed on 7 deals, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, do I want to move forward with continue to deploy my capital, or do I want to pivot and change and kind of do a different strategy?"
Mhm.
And at that time, I had talked with a gentleman who had been doing or had seen great success with transactional funding, which is what
Mhm.
I originally thought. This is what I
You
want to
wanted
do
it. Right, right.
a year and a
Yes.
half ago, right?
Mhm.
And in talking with him, he had shared with me some amazing things as to why he was so successful. It's amazing, yet it's so simple, right? And so I'll share that with everybody because
Oh,
it's not
please. I'm excited to hear
it's
that.
it's nothing like, oh my gosh, that's the secret sauce. The secret sauce that he told me was basically, you know, human beings are simple creatures, right, Jules? Like wherever we look, we move,
Yes, that's right.
right? And
Yeah. Mhm.
pretty simple. Like we can't walk backwards too long without having to look, right? So wherever our eyes are fixated, whatever we focus
Mhm.
on becomes our path and our reality. We start taking action on those things. And he asked me, he said, "Hey, when you first joined, how much time and effort did you put into transactional funding?" And I was like,
Mm.
well, I looked, but I didn't see any. So I quickly pivoted. He goes, absolutely. The entire time you've been looking at deals, the entire time you've been networking,
Mhm.
looking at deals specifically for private money gap funding.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's like, well, how do you expect to do transactional funding if
Mhm.
that's how you're looking at everything and if that's what you're talking to everybody about?
Right,
And,
right.
I was like, what? And so this was in November, right? In
Mhm.
November. And so he gave me a few suggestions, a few tips, and kind of held my feet to the fire with calendaring and action items, right, Jules? Like we're well
Sure.
aware of that.
Love that. Yes, yes, we are.
And so I added that into my calendar that these are going to be my action money making activities every single day.
Mhm.
And so really I hit the ground running in December. Here we are, second week of January. And in
Mhm.
that time, right now, I've funded 4 EMD deals
Oh my
compared
gosh, wow.
to 2 in the year and a half prior,
Prior. Wow, wow.
right?
So
And so just kind of
intentionally, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Intentionally looking for or telling people that you're doing transactional
yeah,
funding.
being more intentional about it, talking about it, vocalizing it, right? Throwing it out into the community, into the universe. That
Yes,
these are the things that you do. Like
yes.
I can remember, Jules, the first time I ever told somebody that I was working in the real estate space. Like just saying
Mhm.
that after identifying myself with 25
Mhm.
years of fitness, just
Mhm.
saying that was hard to do.
It was. Did you feel like some kind of imposter syndrome, or what? Why? I mean, you feel you weren't credible, or why? Why do you think it was that difficult?
All of the above, you name it, right? And I think part of it was everybody kind of sees themselves in a certain way, right?
Yes. Yes.
And unfortunately, not all of us see ourselves in the best way.
Hmm.
And I'm no stranger to that. I fell victim to that too. But I remember sitting in my car at the first real estate meetup that I ever went to.
Hmm.
Uh, and I remember sitting in my car saying to myself, like trying to give myself a pep talk, like,
Yeah.
you can do this. You belong here. You drove 45 minutes to
Hmm.
meet people to talk about things. And
Hmm.
you're sitting in your car 30 minutes after it started
Hmm.
and just kind of having this conversation, right? Like, I'm
Right.
not good enough. I don't know enough. What am I doing here? Why am I doing this? What am I even going to say? To just saying, you know what? Get off your ass, get out there and
And
just say,
just go. Yes, yes. So getting out of your comfort zone, right? It's funny how mindset, how we think, we're a worst critic, and what holds us back, that limiting belief. But just you taking that step and action and getting out of your car and going to meeting people. Here we are, sitting on talking about deals that you funded.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Taking action. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about that now, right? Like, and I
Yeah.
identify the challenges that I had to overcome, which I think is,
Hmm.
to your point, right, just mindset, just the limiting belief or the thoughts about, so many of us feel stuck, right?
Hmm.
We feel
Hmm.
stuck in what we're doing, and
Yes.
what hinders us even more so isn't just the fact that we're stuck or unhappy with where we're at today, is we think that in order to get unstuck, we have to know
Hmm.
what it looks like 5 miles down the road.
Yes. Yes. So
We
true.
gotta know where we're gonna be 3 years from now. And in
Hmm. Hmm.
reality, right? Like as you know, right, Jules, because you're so good at this, just to get unstuck, you just gotta take one step.
One step. Yes. Yes. Just a one step. Yeah. And we'll figure it out.
We overthink it. We overthink. We overplan. We overanalyze. And as we
Hmm.
do all these things, we move nowhere, and we don't even
So
take that
true.
one.
Hmm. I think that was me, definitely stuck for over a year. And over analyzing, I think Pace tells us, like, just do it, just go do it, fail forward, right? So no matter
Yeah.
what, at least you'll learn from it, but just go do something. So here we are, we're doing something, doing the thing. So
I
whatever
got
that may be.
one of my best friends, right? He played in the NFL,
Hmm.
and he had the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, wow.
And believe it or not, right here he is. He's getting his shining moment, right, for his family. NFL Super Bowl game,
Hmm.
and the ball gets kicked to him, right? And he's looking up at the ball, and it's coming to him, right on a kickoff, right? And
Hmm.
he's walking through like what's going through his head to me, and nobody, right? Nobody expects to start off life or to enter a game expecting to fumble, right? They
Yes,
expect nothing but the
yes.
best, or they hope for nothing but the best.
Hmm.
But the ball came to him, and here he is in the Super Bowl, and he fumbled the ball,
Oh, oh
right?
man.
Fumbled
Yeah,
the ball.
it happens. Yes.
It happens, and that's the key. Is like, listen, don't define yourself from one moment, right?
Hmm.
Like, pick yourself up and realize that, okay, things bad are going to happen, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in life.
Yes.
There's going to be
Hmm.
something bad that happens, but if you just stay stuck in that moment, you find yourself there and stay stuck, you'll
Hmm.
never be able to take that one step. And so his message was just, nobody plans on fumbling, but it happens.
It does.
Realize that everybody fumbles. It's okay. It's okay that this happened.
Hmm.
Let's go. Let's take that next step forward.
Right. And to that point, we all are afraid of some type of failure, but that's what makes you stronger, right? So don't be afraid to fail. And if you do fail, assess what went wrong and pick up and
Yeah,
go,
I
fail
had a
forward,
good
right?
yeah, a good mentor of mine would use a phrase, "fail fast." Right, like that was
I
his
love
phrase.
that.
Hey, let's step out there. Let's fail fast. And it
Hmm.
was to give everybody the understanding that we're going to make mistakes. It's
Sure.
okay,
Hmm.
but when we make mistakes by taking action, we
Hmm.
learn because we did things.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, for
And so
sure.
the faster we fail, the
Hmm.
faster we learn, the
We
faster
learn.
we apply, the faster we grow.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. So, some of the principles and the things that you have learned from being in the community, how has that impacted your life?
Well, I think the first thing that I've learned is number one, it's the power of people, right? I
Yes.
think I
Amen.
already knew that, but
Hmm.
coming into a new space, being that unfamiliar person, the newbie per se,
Hmm.
leaning in, having to lean on people, really reiterated that point to me that it's all about the people around you.
Sure.
I tell my boys this. I tell them, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
Oh, yeah. So sure. Definitely. Definitely.
And the same applies to any of us, right? Like, who are the
Hmm.
people I'm
Hmm.
hanging around with? Who are the people that I'm trying to
Hmm.
learn from? Who are the
Sure.
people that are feeding my cup and filling my cup for me? Those are the
Hmm.
people I'm most likely to be like, gravitate to, or
Hmm.
the opposite,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I
So
love
the
that.
power of
I love
people is
that. Very, very important. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Great info there. What about so Squat Up Summit is coming, right? How
Oh
did
yeah.
that change your life and joining Owners Club?
um, you know what? I didn't know what to expect, right? From the
Hmm.
first ever Squat Up Summit.
Yes.
I have been to a lot of conventions, a lot of conferences in the past,
Hmm.
and in the fitness industry, you always think the fitness conferences are like the most hype and energetic.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It
Yes.
does not hold a flame to Squat Up Summit.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh! Wow,
Yeah,
that's great to hear. That's so awesome to hear. Yes.
it was amazing, right? Squat. So for those listening in, if this post before, like go to Squat Up Summit, get your ticket. But
Yes. Get your
what I
ticket.
learned, get your ticket. What I seen at Squat Up Summit was just the energy, the
Hmm.
positive energy, and the feeling that we can do it together, right?
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
No matter where I went, there were people doing deals, people talking, people networking, people
Hmm.
not being alone, people looking to include you, right? And I've never felt that before in any
Hmm.
conference, right? It was
Yes.
always like, well, we're these guys, you're those guys, separation, right? Where at
Hmm.
the Squat Up Summit, it was really about inclusion and really about empowering people to learn and grow together, right?
Yes.
And
So true. I remember a lot of sleepless nights, but we were up, but we were going. The energy from the room fueled you to keep you going. We were up like every single night till what 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, turning around and having to go to start the day again at 7 o'clock, 7:30. But it was so filled with, like you said, the inclusivity of everyone, and being connected with people and their energy. I think their vibrations really stuck with you. So you know that's the room that you wanted to be in.
yeah, it's funny. I made the mistake of staying at a different location, right? And so here I am, like I took my family out there, right? They went and enjoyed
Awesome.
themselves in
Yes.
Florida.
Yeah.
But here I am, like leaving the hotel lobby at 1:30, 2 o'clock, feeling like I'm gonna miss out on so much.
Yeah. That
And it's
FOMO,
already
that FOMO
2 a.m.
feeling.
Right? It's 2 a.m. And I'm like, wait, like I'm gonna miss out so much. I just know things are gonna happen after 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like just the energy, the hype, people like you
Hmm.
staying up all night, no sleep.
It was.
Like
It was amazing. Like back in college, like you're just
I met
hanging
so
out at a
many
party.
people that came to the hotel that didn't even attend the conference. They were just there to be at the hotel because they knew things were going to be happening.
Oh wow, that's incredible. I did not know that, but that's incredible. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then the pivotal moment, joining Owners Club.
Yeah. Um, so when they made that announcement, like here's a new program that they're running, I was like, oh my, that's amazing. Is it for me? Now here we go.
Yeah.
Like
Here
imposter
we
syndrome comes.
go. Yeah.
And I sat there, I was like, wait, is this for me? Like, there's so many other people doing big things, so many other people doing all of this stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I should probably let them do it. This
Do
isn't
it.
for me. But as I sat there and I thought more about it, really what came to my mind, Jules, that I thought about is where will I be in a year from now if I
Mm.
don't do it?
Wow. Wow. That's a great
And so
question
I
to
sat
ask.
there and I weighed this. I'm like, well, gosh, if I want change, change has to happen, right? Like if I want to see
That's
something
right.
different, we had to change. And I said, okay,
Mhm.
if I want to be better than I am today, right? March 2024, I've
Mhm.
got to do something different on this path. So March 2025 will look completely different. And
Yes. Yes.
and I signed up. I joined Owners Club. And I remember after I signed and I did everything, got my box, I stepped out and into the lobby and I ran into two of
Mhm.
my friends. And they looked at the box and they said, "You joined Owners Club." And they were so excited. And I
Yes.
stood there like, yes, like it hadn't hit me yet. Like,
It had to hit you. Yes.
did I
Yes.
really just do
Mhm.
this? Like, did I just join
Mhm.
Owners Club? It's like, yes, I joined Owners Club. And they were like, you got to sound happier about it. Like, this is something amazing for you. And they hyped me back
Yes.
up to say, yes, all right. You had that moment of buyer's
Awesome.
remorse, right? And I was like, ugh, here we go.
Mhm. Mhm. Here we go. Here we go. But what a year! It's, well, not even a full year yet, right? So Squat Up Summit. I'll put a pitch in for Squat Up Summit. If you're thinking about it, don't think. Just do it. You're gonna have FOMO because this year in 2025 March, in Dallas, 29th through 31st. It's going to be epic, so don't miss out. Owners Club, how has that changed your life?
I would say that everything that was promised from Owners Club, right, from the promotion, from the marketing, from Pace's pitch has come true. And I got to be honest, I feel like I've learned so much, yet I feel like I've only tapped into 10% of what was offered
Yes,
and
yes.
what is being asked. And so
Hmm.
I just look back like, okay, there's so much there. How do I implement it into my business? It's been incredible.
Yes.
Not only with the educational learnings and the ability to be around Pace and other major action takers like you, but it's really about meeting
Oh,
people,
thank you. Yes, yes.
right?
Meeting
Like meeting people
people.
like you, right? Being able to break bread together, being able to talk, being able to chat. Like the people you meet in Owners Club, who you know are at a different frequency, right? It's
Mhm.
not that they're
Yes.
not like all of them are doing. Everybody's doing amazing things in their own right, but that's not it. It's the fact that their mental frequency and the way they look and think about life and business and you and entrepreneurship
Hmm.
is at a
Hmm.
different level, right? And
Yes.
that resonates. And that helps me to vibrate higher.
Yes. Amazing. I'm so glad you said that. It made me level up. My thinking, it expanded. Me and not want to be what paces or who paces, I should say, but the vision and opening up your peripheral to know what things that you can do. I think that has had such an impact. And then I text him and I'm like, dude, if I had only done what you told me to do back in June, where would I be? But he's like, no, this is where you're at. Just to taking action, just a little bit, like it's huge. Just do it. Comes back to the swoosh. Just do it.
Yeah, yeah. Take action and do it. Yeah, I
Hmm.
would agree.
Hmm. Yes. So what's in store for you? What big things do you got cooking for the next? Well, we call it Mount Everest, but what's your 3 year plan?
Yeah, so I'll go 1-3 for you. One of the big things,
Yes.
just kind of going back to my focus for this year, is one of my goals is to do 50 transactional funded deals this year. Right,
Amazing.
that's my goal.
Yes.
With focus, with attention, with networking, with
Hmm.
letting people know, hey, I do transactional
Hmm.
lending, right? EMP double close, Mori method transaction funds.
Hmm.
50 is my goal. That's goal number
Okay.
one.
Awesome.
In the process of doing that, right, is to get the capital to continue
Hmm.
to build my private money lending business that's kind of running behind me. Do
Hmm.
that. But
Yes.
the 3 year vision is to have 50 properties that are co-living Section 8 properties that provide housing for the less fortunate and affordable housing. Um,
I
that's kind
love
of
it.
my future plan.
Oh, amazing, amazing. It's one thing. Like if I look back when I started into real estate, the money was what was driving me, but Pace had us look at it as a different vision. How many people are you going to be helping? And I love that your vision is affordable housing, and that's definitely a crisis, and we're definitely in need of more affordable housing for the less fortunate. And that just touches my heart, Keola. I love it. I love that you're doing that. Part of
Well, I
something that
know
I'm
you're
working
doing
on
big
too.
things
So,
too, Jules, right? Like your
the,
focus is amazing.
thank you, thank you. So we're gonna take a step back, your Gator. If anybody is watching this and they're unsure whether or not they're thinking, whatever the cost is, we don't know what the cost is at the moment. Whenever somebody's watching, would you recommend joining Gator?
I would say, Pace has 3 different communities, right? Like sub 2, Gator, and top tier TC. And so, based on what your area of focus is or what you want to accomplish, get off the sidelines and on the field, right? Like
Yes, yes,
on
yes.
any of those. I would look at the 3 differently. Like if you're looking to learn how to buy or hold or acquire properties creatively, sub 2 is definitely the way to go. And
Yes.
all things, right? It's kind of
Hmm.
just, it encompasses everything.
Everything. Hmm.
If you're
Hmm.
looking to learn how to do lending or also a lower barrier of entry into the real estate world, Gator, right? That's a
Hmm.
great place to go and help move your money. And if you love numbers, if you love detail, if you love paperwork, you love contracts, you love understanding the intricacies of the back end processes, top tier TC is all for you, right? So any of those
Yes.
communities, get off the sidelines and get in the game.
Yeah, join one or join all three. Whatever floats your boat. So I love how you broke it down. It's very, yes, peace has everything that you would want. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Keola. Um, I really love how you wrote that down, and get off the sidelines. Like really, do something for yourself, do something for your family, be the one to make the change in your family, and take action this year. Make it all about you and taking action. That being said, we have a lot of newbies who've joined Gator and just don't know where to go, don't know where to start. Can you give two recommendations of what they should be doing? Intentional, whatever you would share. Like if you were yourself when you first started, what would you tell them to do?
Yeah, great question. If
Thank you.
I had to start all over again, there'll be three things I would say you definitely want to focus on, right? Number one is dive into the trainings, right? The trainings are there to help educate you and help you level up, right? As Jules mentioned that word.
Yes.
Now, you can't just do that, right? Because
No.
one of my good friends always told me that, you know, in this space, we don't have an education issue, we have an application issue,
Oh, so
right?
true.
And so it's
Hmm.
not just about learning everything. It does you learning something does you no good if you don't do anything with it, right?
Hmm.
And so the second thing I would say is once you get that knowledge, network with people, connect with people. That's where the magic really happens is when
Sure.
you network with people and find people that are doing big things that can help
Hmm.
you, not just not just by reading the book, but by watching somebody drive. Right? I got a
That's
son
right.
who's learning how to drive right now. He's at
Oh boy.
school, and
Yes.
yeah, I got to take heart medication pills for it. But he can watch a video about how to drive. He can read a book about how to drive. He can watch
Right.
me drive. We can do
Hmm.
all those things. None of that's going to make him a better driver, right? So
That's right.
whatever it is you choose, the only way you can get better at driving, the only way you can get better at being a gator, the only way you can get better at sub two is to get behind the wheel, turn the key, and put it in drive.
That's
You've
right.
got to get in the driver's seat and start taking action. Now, in our community, the great thing is you never have to jump in a vehicle by yourself. You can jump in a vehicle, those driver's education vehicles where in the passenger
Student
seat,
learning.
yeah,
Hmm.
they got the brake, right? That they can push off.
Yeah, they got it.
In this
Yes. Yes.
community, there is always somebody that's willing to jump in the student learning vehicle and educate you on the journey. And so those would
That's
be
right.
the three things that I would share.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, Gator newbies, you heard it straight here from Keola, right? So, of course, one, jump into the training, right? Get that, but nothing happens without taking action. So, take action, but you don't have to do it alone. Get in the driver's seat, go to get that learner's permit, and have somebody there, anybody in the community who you see are doing deals, network, connect with them, and start taking action and doing deals. And that leads me, Keola is open to JVing. How can people reach you, Keola? What's the best way for them to connect and reach out to you to get some advice and share things with you?
Yeah, you bet. The best way to reach out to me is going to be on my Instagram, Keola_Keala. It's listed right here on the screen,
That's
but
right.
Keola_Keala on Instagram. Easiest way to reach out to me.
Yes, and please do. He's full of gems. He is a go giver, always helping in the community. I'm so thankful for him being here and sharing all these tips and spending time with us. I really, really, truly appreciate you. Any last minute words of advice you want to give to the
Uh,
audience?
not words of advice for the audience, but just saying this to you. Just thank you so much, Jules, for having me on today
Absolutely.
to be able to sit down, have this space to chat, to talk, to bounce ideas off each other, and to just share our stories, right? Like having
Yes.
people like you that I look up to, right? I want to be
Aw,
like
thank you.
it is amazing because you're doing so many big things. And so I just encourage people to go find others that are, master drivers. That's why I'm here because I know you're a master
That's right.
driver as well, and I want to learn from you.
And likewise, I'm learning from you. I think we all, within the community, there's always something we can learn from each other. And you're so humble. You're doing great things, absolutely amazing things. I can't wait to see how you take off in the co-living space and just providing that and the feeling of providing a roof over someone's head. I mean, that's got to bring it right home here, right? Hit you in the heart, right? So that's it, guys. That's Keola. thank you so much for being here and dropping jewels and just sharing everything. Amazing, amazing nuggets with everyone. And we look forward to having you again on Dropping Jewels and just letting us know what you're doing. And we can deep dive more into Gator and structuring whatever. I'm always, this platform's always open to you. So just let me know when. Love to have
Thanks.
you again.
Mahalos.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you. Bye.